And welcome to another episode of the Bear Report Podcast. This is the Bear Report Podcast, episode 83 for Friday, February 8th, 2019. Almost forgot what year it was. Thank you for actually, today is February 9th, technically, for some of us here. I am actually joined by good friend Roy from Barry IL. How's it going, Roy?
Hey, what's up?
What time of day is it over where you are?
5:30 a.m.
5:30 a.m. You
It's
are
not even the morning.
not even the morning. Roy joins us from, where are you joining us from?
Israel.
Yes. And we are very pleased to have him on board. If you recognize him, you've probably seen him on podcasts that I've been part of as well. He's been part of the YouTube Blogcast, along as with me and along with YouTube Brad. And he's actually the kind of the reason why we're here. He got the itch for wanted to podcast again, and so do I, but he was kind of the pusher here, and so we figured we get on with doing some podcasts and talk about our favorite topic in the world, and that's BlackBerry. So thank you for everybody who's joined us. I am actually hopping over to Twitter live, so if you're joining us live on Twitter on the Bear Report Podcast, thank you very much for doing so. If you want to head over to the bearreporter.com Twitter handle, or you can also go to the Barry Report Twitter handle, whichever one you want. But we got some cool topics to talk about. We're also going to do a live unboxing. I have a device here that I have not unboxed yet. This is the Punkit MP02 device that is running BlackBerry Secure OS. And I have yet to unbox it. I've had it for a while, actually, and it's been sitting on my counter waiting for a good time to do an unboxing video. I don't have my camera set up, so I figured why not do it on a podcast. So let's get started. I think there's a couple things we just wanted to talk about with between the two of us, and the first one is that we want to just talk about the BlackBerry Key 2 LE. We know it's been out for a bit, but we want to give our impressions on the BlackBerry Key 2 LE. And Roy, go ahead, give your kind of first take. I think you're a big fan of this device, right?
Yeah. No, the Key 2 LE is my main device. And at the beginning, I thought it will be hard to me to use it because I really get used to the touch keyboard, and the Key 2 LE don't have it. I think that's one of the reasons why these devices have a lower price than the Key 2. And I found the Key 2 LE, if you remember the curved devices that were a lower price, bold, um, actually very good. It's smooth, the OS running wonderful, the camera is good. Um, the only thing that's missing in the camera, if you compare it to the Key 2, is the super zoom. If you use it, um, the battery is living like 1 day, 1 day and a half, if you're not trying to kill the device. I found the Key 2 the best BlackBerry, let's say a mid-end. It's not a flagship device; it's a mid-range device. The best BlackBerry mid-range device in the last few years.
Yeah. So, my impression, the Key 2 LE is not my primary device. I'm still using the Key 2 as my primary device. I do use it, off on Wi-Fi, just kind of as a secondary device if I'm sitting at a desk or something like that. I did use it for a good chunk of time when it was first launched, and my first impression of this device is it's a light device. It's just as soon as you pick up the device from any service or anything like that, you feel how light this device is compared to a Key 2.
Yeah, very light.
Even compared to like the Key 1 and the Motion, it's a very light device. There's no weight to it, which some people like, some people like. I like it a little bit heavy, but this is pretty good for me. I liked the feel of the keyboard. and I love my Key 2 keyboard, but the Key 2 LE keyboard feels very well as well compared, with the Key 2. But I kind of liked it a tad bit more some days because I liked how smaller it was. It kind of reminded me going back to the Bold 9700 days. This is one of my favorite devices back in the day because of that keyboard size, and the LE kind of reminded me of that same kind of, it's a smaller keyboard, but sometimes you don't really need that big keyboard to compose good emails. The screen was very nice. I didn't really see any dips in performance with processor or anything like that. Battery life, that's kind of where that's one of the reasons why I couldn't really keep it as my primary device. I was getting through a good chunk of my day, but it wasn't getting as long as my Key 2 was. And after coming from, battery life with the Key 1 and the Key 2, going from a little bit less of a battery life, I couldn't really justify sacrificing it. It's still a great device. I still recommend it. It's, like I said, and for my battery life usage, I'm kind of a crazy person because I have tons of accounts syncing all at once throughout the day, and it's a nightmare with my device if you even look at my phone.
And one thing that for me, it's a good sell point. The Key 2 LE comes with a variety of colors. I got the champagne. It's a beautiful. And we have the atomic red, and we have the slate, and
I have the slate here.
You can choose what color your favorite and have it. It's great. I don't remember when BlackBerry released or BlackBerry Mobile released a device with a colors to choose.
It has to be back to the Passport days, right? That was the last device that had the rainbow of colors, and then before that, you're looking at the torches. Maybe the torches had some crazy colors. I remember as far as that, but yeah, I mean, like you said before, it's a mid-range device, and it's a device that if you're looking for a BlackBerry device at a certain price tag, this is your device. This is that perfect entry device into the BlackBerry Android market. That if you used to have a BlackBerry device, or you had an old Curve or something like that, and you really loved that device for the keyboard, you loved the device for the email and the security, but you went away because of the app gap or anything like that, this is a great device to go transition back into BlackBerry in the BlackBerry world. Especially if you're not looking to pay the price tag that the Key 2 is at. By all means, go after this device. One thing I did realize, and this is probably just me because I'm an appaholic, the 32 gigabyte storage size on this device, I couldn't do coming from the 64 gig. It's coming from my 64 gig Key 2. I couldn't really do, or I had to kind of more consciously adjust my app usage on this device because I couldn't really use as many apps as I was already using on the Key 2. But again, that's probably just me. I kind of wish they would have thrown 30 or 64 gigs into this device a little bit.
I think that if I remember, my device is a dual SIM. This champagne is a dual SIM, and I think it is 64 gigas.
Okay, so you have I only have the 32 gig. I don't have the dual SIM. I would have actually liked the dual SIM, but I did not get the dual SIM in my region.
46, 64 gigas.
So one of the things you kind of touched on earlier, where you thought that you were going to miss the capacitive keyboard, right?
Yeah.
But you did, right?
After 1.5 weeks, it's like I never have it and never love it on the Passport and the Key 1, and now when I use my Key 1 for update or do other things, I don't use the capacitive touch for some reason, and I really like it.
Yeah, see, there was times when I wasn't using the capacitive touch, and I was like, wow, I can't believe I'm not using the capacitive touch, but there's a lot more times when I was using the Key 2 LE that I was just like, where's my capacitive touch? I mean, I've become accustomed to one of my favorite new apps that I've been kind of using on a daily basis or semi-daily basis is Google News. So Google News grabs all tons of news feeds from anything that you like or curates to what you like, and throws into a nice little news application that you can use. And I use that, like I said, pretty much on a daily basis. So if I'm scrolling through, I don't really want to use my screen to scroll through on
Yeah.
my key 2. I'd rather use the capacitive touch keyboard because that's what I've been used to. And on the LE, I try to get used to it. I did a pretty decent job, a better job than I thought I was going to. But I think once I went back to the key 2 with the capacitive touch, I was like, oh, I was missing this. This is definitely something that I was missing, and definitely something
I think the key 2 LE, we talk about the keyboard, it's more like the Q5, the BlackBerry Q5.
Yeah,
yeah. It's a rare device, but no capacitive keyboard.
Yeah, the Q5, it's definitely in that mid range, that low. I don't want to say low end because it's not really a low end device. It's a mid range device, but my thing I keep harping on with this device, it brings you back to the BlackBerry Curve days. BlackBerry Curve days were the glory days pretty much for BlackBerry devices, right? Without the Curve being as successful as it was, would BlackBerry have been successful? Yes, but I don't know if they would have been as successful without the Curve taking off the way it did, right?
And I heard someone from BlackBerry Mobile said on the latest conference on Las Vegas, he said that BlackBerry Mobile saw a 1-digit rise on sales, or 2-digit rise on sales, and the main push they got on sale is from the key 2 LE. So people like mid-range device on a good price.
Yeah, I mean, it's especially for what you're getting out of it. You're getting a great keyboard device. You're getting very good battery life. You're getting a pretty decent camera. I wasn't really disappointed with the camera. It's not going to outdo the latest iPhone or latest Samsung device in camera specs wise, but it's going to do a pretty good job. It's a great camera for something in your pocket to take a quick picture of something for. It's not going to go replacing your DSLR camera or anything like that.
Yeah. So what's next?
So I guess we should unbox the. I'll go ahead and start
the MPO2.
Yeah, let's get this unboxing. And while I unbox this, just go ahead and kind of give us, because you've been using this device for a little bit, right?
Yeah, I use it as my secondary device on the days or mostly weekends that I want to disconnect from my apps, and I want to be only available through my PC, from a laptop, or only by phone. I use the .mpo2 for that. And from time to time, it's really nice to be disconnected from all the apps. And if you are an appaholic, it will be a tough mission for you.
Yeah, I think that might be why I've been kind of holding off on this device. I mean, don't get me wrong. I am, this is a great concept for BlackBerry to kind of take a venture into, and this is a great concept for Punkit. They've been doing this for a while now, but they haven't had the security that BlackBerry has had. So, it's a great concept for them to do.
I saw a lot of people that are buying this device mostly for their kids. They don't want their kids to use the smartphones, but they want their kids to be secure with BlackBerry Secure. And what's great in this device, it's the Punkt MPO2 have 4G capabilities, so you can use it as I use it as a router to my laptop when I'm not home. It's a very good feature, and you don't eating your main device battery by filtering.
Yeah, I mean, one of the things about this device, and I remember, I forget if it was in a BBM group that I was in, that I mentioned that I got this device from a good friend over at Punkit, of course, And I remember someone saying, "Oh, that device is lousy. Why'd you get that device?" Well, first, it's a device I'm reviewing, of course, for Punkit. But two, I mean, this device has its own purpose, right? This isn't your, smartphone device that's going to allow you to access things like Twitter and stuff like that. This is a device where you have you just want to make phone calls and get text messages and maybe have a secure internet connection on your laptop. This is the device that you're going to do that with.
And don't forget, the Punkt is not a device company. Punkt is the designers.
Yeah,
they make tables, chairs, whatever they can design and design good. And if you look at the Punkt, it is back. It's not. You have a bump for the battery.
Yeah.
Try not to broke it.
Yeah. Try not to. That's it.
And the Punkt got a new firmware update.
Yeah, today. I saw that. Yeah. Yeah, it's such an interesting device. I mean, again, it's not going to replace my Key 2, right? It's not going to, I rely on my device for too many emails and stuff like that. But, I see where the concept is of this device, and I see the reasoning for this device. And to call it a device that is useless or anything, that you just don't understand why this device is here, and go back to your, crazy phone, whatever. But yeah, and I really love, as I was just unboxing it there, it's a USB-C, right? So don't have to worry about changing cables or anything like that, which is cool. I love how people are all going, and they give you, it's just a one ear piece. Yeah. They give you the headphone, and that's also USB-C as well, which is really cool. Even BlackBerry Mobile hasn't done this for their BlackBerry devices, which I kind of wish they would. But that means they would get rid of the headphone jack, of course. But yeah, that's a really cool concept.
And this device is very easy to use. You have your calendar, notes. I think most of this phone is settings. And the buttons are pretty big, and you can't miss when you write SMS. And I know that a lot of in the USA like to SMS and not to use other messaging apps.
You can see that on camera. Punk.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. It's a really neat looking device.
It's for a niche market of people. It's not a mainstream device. That's for sure.
No, but I mean, if you think about it, it's a device that really fits the BlackBerry Secure platform really well. Or I should say maybe BlackBerry Secure fits its platform really well. Just because of the, like you said, it's a niche device, but it's right up where BlackBerry's, mindset is, and security and stuff like that. And, making sure that you just want to have a device that gets the job done, and you don't want any distractions or anything like that.
And when people ask why BlackBerry Secure, not a smartphone device. So if this device used as a router for your laptop, or you're using it, any of its 4G capabilities, you don't want someone will hack your network. So the Punkt MPO2 is actually your network to be connected through your laptop, through your tablet, or any other device. That's why you need a BlackBerry Secure.
Yeah, I mean, BlackBerry Secure on here makes complete sense.
Yeah.
I don't know why you would.
And I know a lot of schools in my country are now buying the old Nokias, old dumb phones from Nokia to the children until age of 8 because they don't want to. They will use they will use the smartphones and be on apps all day because they need to um, learn and be in school. And this device is actually the pretty good solution for it.
Yeah, I mean,
For a parent to a small kid.
Yeah, I mean, it would definitely be a cool device to give to a kid. I mean, I could see, if you just want them to have a basic device for calling and text messaging and simulate, yeah, absolutely, this is definitely the device. If you want to do things like keep an eye on your kid, then that's probably not a device for you. But if they have only basic information or basic access, then what do you really need to keep an eye on them for? Yeah, really cool device. I'll definitely be playing around with this a little bit more, and kind of going with that. So yeah, keep an eye on bearport.com for a full review on that. I'll probably pop a SIM card into there and check it out for it. How's the call quality and everything on it? Have you?
And to be honest, Punk support services are very good on Twitter. You can tweet them, and they have a great Instagram account, so you can tweet them their answer pretty quickly if you have any issues.
Yeah. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
Is it the good call quality and everything on it, or
what?
Call quality when you make phone calls? Is that good and all?
Yeah.
Okay.
I like it.
Cool. Thanks for the subscription or subscribing to the channel there, Graham Williams in the chat. If you guys are watching and you aren't in the chat, you can actually chat away with us in there and ask questions and such like that. So you can have your answers read live on the air. So what else do you want to talk about? BBM's been getting some pretty cool updates, right?
Yeah, we've got update on the last few days. It wasn't beta for like months.
Yeah, can we just talk about the UI of BBM lately?
Okay, so it's not really a UI. It's a change. I will try to show you. You remember the call icon in the upper right?
Yeah.
They actually put it now on the main menu down with the chats, feeds, and all.
Yeah, I really like that they put that there, and it makes a lot of sense to just dump it down there at the bottom.
I really like that you can long click on a chat and to pin it. So you will never miss an important chat.
Yeah, and I really like that you can. All you have to do now is just hit your profile picture up in the top left, and it brings up all your like settings and stuff like that. Instead of having to kind of go over, I think it was like on the right tab, whatever. I really like the where they place all that stuff now. BBM's been putting a lot of good work into the BBM app, and it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't been using BBM lately.
And if you are sending picture, you can use a new editor. You can write text on the picture. You can crop it and change colors and do things and send a very cool pictures. So the latest BBM update is pretty cool. The only thing I think for now, at least for me, is missing it's replying on feeds. So you can comment, but you can't reply on a comment, and you don't receive notifications when somebody writes on your
it's kind of like the same issue that BBM channels has had forever, right? When you post up something on BBM channels and someone comments on that, it's a pain in the butt just to reply to that comment. You can reply to it, but there's no obvious way of hit like reply to this person's comment. If you just type in something, it's just going to put it at the bottom of the comment section there. And the feed is the same way. So if you comment on somebody, it, again, like you said, doesn't alert anybody, and you can't really reply to a reply, which is something that if they want feeds to be exactly what they want it to be, and just kind of have a conversation inside of that status update, then they need to fix that. And I'm sure they'll definitely fix it, but hopefully,
Yeah.
I mean, the BBM channel issue has been going on for some time. I think it's been like that since early day BBM channels, right? So hopefully it doesn't share the same, result.
Yeah, I really want BBM will work on all the system and structure of comments and notifications.
Yeah, a few months back, I had a conversation with the folks over at BBM, and they were telling me that, my big question to them was, what is BBM channels to you guys? Is it important to you guys? Is it not important to you guys? Because that's the one question I always get about BBM is, what's BBM channels going? What's going on with that? And they're like, yeah, BBM channels is very important to us. It's well used over here in Indonesia. That's their main territory where they're focusing a lot of their advertising and stuff. And they said it's something that they really want to focus on and put a lot of effort into. I just don't know if they know where to go with BBM channels, and that sucks for BBM channels because it's a great concept and it's something I wish would grow more. I mean, if you remember back when BBM channels started, right? It had a great start. You had things like the Toronto Raptors, you had companies all over the world using BBM channels, starting that up. And I was like, oh, okay, this could be something. And now if you go to any of those channels, they're dead if you can even find those channels anymore.
I think we can suggest a few things to BBM.
Yeah, I mean, I've been suggesting this for a while, so hopefully they listen to me. I know there's something in the works, and I have faith that they'll fix it and they'll update it. The other feature that I really want BBM to have is if you're on iOS and you have BBM loaded up, you have the ability to lock your BBM profile or BBM application with like a PIN. But you can also lock it with your fingerprint, which is not on Android, and hasn't been on Android for a while. And it's something I wish was on Android because that's a great idea and it's a great concept. I don't even know why you can't lock it.
On the Locker app, you mean?
What's that?
You want to lock BBM on the Locker app?
No. So, like for instance, on my iPhone, right? I have it so it's pin locked to get into my BBM. So, and then you can also set it to do your fingerprint unlock as well instead of your pin.
Okay.
So on Android, it's not even an option to even pin lock BBM, which I would think that, with BBM being a secure platform, that would be even things like Telegram, Signal, they all have that feature built right into their messaging platform. WhatsApp has it, I believe. So why is it not in BBM Android, but it's on BBM iOS?
I will tell you more. On Key2 and Key2LE, you can replicate apps. You can dual apps, and BBM is not one of the apps you can clone. And it will be great to use 2-3 different accounts on the same device.
Well, but you can clone BBM on other devices, though. I will say that.
Really?
Because I have a handy dandy Samsung device that I loaded up BBM. This was by mistake that I discovered this. I loaded up BBM on it. It's my work device, right? So one of the devices I use for work, and I loaded up BBM on it just because I like to have a BBM profile on every device I have, and it asked me if I wanted to clone this account or clone this app. And I was like, sure. I haven't really kind of messed around with it, but the fact that it asked me to do that, that means that something on BBM side is ready to make that happen. So
why we can't do it on our Blackberries?
I think it's because BlackBerry's not letting that happen yet. I don't know why. Which is weird because they said wasn't that one of the big things about Oreo, right? Wasn't that a feature in BlackBerry Oreo
Yeah,
coming or something? I forget. I know BlackBerry's mentioned it before. That says you can clone these apps. It's coming soon.
yeah.
Well, that was with the LE coming out, right?
When you go to settings, you have apps and notifications, dual apps, and I can only dual Messenger and Instagram. I don't use Messenger, and on Instagram you can use two accounts on the same app, so I don't really need to clone it.
Yeah, there's some apps that it doesn't make sense for, like Twitter and Instagram. Like you said, I have all my accounts in one app. I don't need two different apps for two different accounts. It's the cloning BBM is a really interesting feature. I won't use it because it kind of defeats the purpose for BBM for me. Coming from, you have a BBM account and that's it. You have one PIN registered to you or registered to your device, and that is, I don't know. I definitely see the purpose for it, for having dual SIMs devices that have multiple accounts, but
I hear people want the two BBM apps on the same device since early BlackBerry 10 days.
Oh yeah, I know people want it, and you just you got to manage multiple BBM BlackBerry IDs and stuff.
I think that if BBM sometime will decide that you can have a business account on BBM, then they should give you the opportunity to use two accounts, one private, one business.
Yeah, I'd be interested to see if that happens when BB10 goes dark for everybody. Right? So, right now BB10 is kind of sitting in limbo and kind of on life support. But one thing that's keeping it alive is the enterprise people. And BBM for BlackBerry 10 is very enterprise centered right now, right? There's pretty much no consumer access or consumer features built into it anymore. If there are, they barely work, or they, some work, some don't, and such like that. So I wonder what happens come the end of the year or if BlackBerry decides to actually kill BlackBerry 10, or cripple it, or do whatever they're thinking of doing to it, what that means for BBM on BlackBerry 10. I know there's BBM Enterprise for Android and iOS, so that kind of might be a little bit different, but it'd be interesting to see if they do that business account idea that you're saying once whatever happens to BBM or BlackBerry 10 happens.
Yeah, they probably will kill it and tell everyone to move to Android.
Yeah, I know Microsoft just did that with Windows, unfortunately. I don't see BlackBerry doing that though. I don't see them telling, "Hey, get off our devices and go somewhere else." I think they're going to give them the ability to keep using the devices, but there's things that are going to just stop working little by little here and there. We have the App Store doesn't work. The runtime stuff is barely working for people. So I don't know what's going to continue work. I don't think they'll kill the email servers on them for a while.
I heard Chen said BlackBerry still have like 3 or 4 million users on the BlackBerry devices.
Oh yeah,
not BlackBerry Mobile.
Yeah, there's still a ton of people on BlackBerry 10 still, and if they're gonna do that to those users or do a pull a Microsoft on them, that's a bad day for BlackBerry. I understand why BlackBerry would do it, but that's way too many people to do it to.
Yeah. They probably will ask you to move to Android nicely, It will give you $50 or $100 to move.
Well, yeah, they were supposed to do that whole trade-in thing, right? When they first announced that BlackBerry 10 was going away, didn't they announce that they were going to do some kind of like trade-in offer with BlackBerry Mobile, where you could buy, I think it was a key one at the time, where you could trade in your BlackBerry 10 device or BlackBerry OS device and get X amount of dollars back for it if you go to a shiny new BlackBerry Key 1 or Motion or whatever it was at the time. But they never did that. I don't know why. I don't know if it's something they couldn't work out with BlackBerry Mobile, or the buyback cost or whatever, the trade-in cost wasn't profitable for them, or I don't know. But they have to do something like that if they want to kick people off BlackBerry 10.
And it's interesting to know how many people really use BBM Enterprise on BB10.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's whatever enterprises are still using, BlackBerry device manager heavily with BlackBerry devices.
To be honest, I didn't use my BB10 devices for a few months now.
Yeah, I mean, I still turn my Classic, my password on just because I just like to
check them.
To check them, make sure, see if there's anything coming through to them. What did I see the other day? Somebody was getting, I think it was someone was on a Classic or something. They got an update from somewhere.
Really?
Yeah. It was like
that's nice.
Maybe a month or two ago on a Passport or something. So I know BlackBerry was supposed to push out a third update.
We're still on this fourth update now.
Well, I mean, they did say that, hey, there's 2 software updates coming down the pipeline, and one came, but the second one did not. So
I don't think that anyone in BlackBerry is working.
No, I don't think there's anybody developing BlackBerry 10. The other people developing BlackBerry 10 are people who used to develop BlackBerry 10 and are developing it and making it called iOS.
Yeah.
Because iOS is coming more and more BlackBerry 10 to this. And that's going to get very interesting coming down the line. Right now, BlackBerry is still going after Facebook and Snapchat for all that stuff. It'd be kind of interesting to see what if BlackBerry keeps on this iOS stuff. I mean, technically they could have a fight to it because Palm is the one who started this all, but they did buy a good chunk of Palm, or took most of the developers, I should say. But I don't know.
Now, TCL are going to release a new Palm device.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious about how they're gonna. It's running Android, right?
It has, yeah. It's their Punkt. It's very similar to the Punkt. You will have to still use your main device.
Yeah, but they're also doing. Aren't they also doing the Razr or something like that? I know that's Motorola. They're also TCL is also doing another nostalgic brand, right? They're doing
Alcatel.
BlackBerry.
They're doing Alcatel.
Well, no, that's their own. That's not nostalgia. They bought somebody else, and they're kind of trying to bring it back or something, aren't they? I forget. I know it's Palm and BlackBerry, but there's also something else that besides Alcatel, there's something else that they have. I forget. I mean, we haven't been on since the BlackBerry Hub got updated. What do you think of the new Hub update?
I didn't really got it.
What's that?
The latest Key 2?
No, the Hub, the BlackBerry Hub.
I didn't got it. I'm not on beta.
Oh, so you don't have the new layout?
No.
Oh, well, let me show you that.
I heard some people say that BlackBerry are now less interesting and they're not developing their Android apps like they did it at the beginning.
Well,
people complain.
Let me find a. So I don't know if this is going to come through on camera. Let's see.
No.
No.
And my answer that tells me if you agree, that the BlackBerry Android apps reached. Oh, now I see.
So now
pretty
that's
nice.
a pretty cool little layout with BlackBerry Hub. And I would have agreed to your point until this Hub update started coming through. And it's not just Hub that's getting this update. It's also Notes. Notes hasn't really received any feature updates or anything like that, but it has their new UI change, right? And all their BlackBerry apps have been getting the UI change. I've been frustrated with BlackBerry with their BlackBerry apps because, like you said, I haven't been updating as I used to. But when they do push out an update, it's kind of interesting to see them. I mean, with this new Hub update, once it becomes live and for more users, I think a lot of people will really like it. For those who still use the Hub on their BlackBerry device,
I think that the BlackBerry Android device reached some maturity and stability that you don't need to update them every month.
No, I agree with that.
And from time to time, there are new features, new UI change. That's cool. You can't add new features every month. I think they need to do some pretty hard work on their tests and notes apps.
Yeah,
because I really like to have more advanced Evernote-like notes and task app from BlackBerry.
Yeah, that's what I love. I love the BlackBerry Note app, but I hate that I can only sync with Outlook. That's the only thing I can sync with, and that kills me. Like, I understand people use Outlook, but not everybody uses Outlook. So give me another way to sync with another, and it's been like that since the BlackBerry 10. So, give me something. Like, I remember, and the Notes app has like this bad habit of deleting notes on you. I don't know if you've ever had this happen before, but I've had it just, I was taking notes. I had a nice long note going for a few months, and I closed it, went back into it one day, and couldn't find the note. Nowhere to be found whatsoever. So now
and the Files app, they can really add some new features to the Files app.
That and Password Keeper. Password Keeper has received an update since who knows when. I would love to see Password Keeper get some kind of update as well. Notes, tasks, Password Keeper, Files app. What else is there? Calendar is looking pretty nice still. They updated that too. Yeah, I just don't know why those apps get left. I understand them updating the Hub because that's kind of the big pushing point of the BlackBerry suite. But I think the Hub's fine right now. Just keep the Hub the way it is, especially with this new update that people should be getting once they release it. But
I don't know how many people work on their Android apps, but I'm sure that there is a team that's working on it.
Oh yeah, all the people that were working on the BlackBerry 10 apps are now working on Android apps. Contacts has got a nice update too, so that's really nice.
Yeah, you use the productivity tab.
Yes and no. I use it when I think of it. Because to me, the productivity tab shows me information that I can already see in the Hub. And if it had the swipe features that BlackBerry 10 had, where I could just kind of check it out, any app that I'm in. I mean, technically, yes, that's what productivity tab does, but it doesn't do it as nicely or it's not as fluent as what BlackBerry 10 used to be. So I don't know if I'm getting, and I also get notifications in the Hub too. So once I get an email, I get notified of it right away. So, one of the things I hate about the Hub or the productivity tab, and I wish they kind of just didn't do it to kind of save on resources, is they put that widget feature in there.
Yeah.
And
I
it
used
was,
it on the beginning, but not now.
yeah, no, it's like if I put a widget in there, it's most likely already on my phone. So why am I checking it there? I mean, I kind of get the concept, but that I don't know. Remove that
I'm
and
sure there
try.
are people that are checking their emails, tasks, and widgets on the same place. So the tab, it's
Oh
really
yeah,
cool for them.
I really love the tab idea. Don't get me wrong. That's I'm just been already so accustomed just to checking that stuff all at once. Other places too. So I don't know. Anne Louise says that she thinks that Apple should buy BlackBerry 10, and that way it would get used and developed. If Apple bought BlackBerry 10, they would still not use it. They would just rip it from the features and then put it in.
I don't know if the hardcore of BlackBerry 10 fans will like this idea
No,
of
they won't like that either.
being bought by Apple.
No, because it's already Apple's already developing like BlackBerry. So
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, they could. I don't think they'll buy it. I don't think they care enough to buy it, and they definitely won't make it their own because that means they get rid of iOS, and that's not happening.
But for Apple, iOS is also a mature OS. So to
Yeah,
try and make it more BB10 like with those features is like um, recreate their OS. And I don't know much about Apple.
yeah. I mean, Apple right now is we're not going to turn this into an Apple podcast, but Apple's struggling right now sales wise and all that. So if they were to buy or take some features from BlackBerry 10 or maybe BlackBerry license that concept out or those features out or whatever to Apple got it. Yeah, they could use it to make iOS more exciting and more enticing to come over to, but that's not an Apple move. I don't think. I don't know.
Yeah, and I don't see BlackBerry selling, or maybe I can see BlackBerry selling patents to Apple.
Yeah, maybe.
Let them use BlackBerry. Make good money from patents.
I feel like there's a better chance of BlackBerry restarting BlackBerry 10 than there is of them selling the license. So
maybe in a few years, not now.
No, not now. Definitely not. It's always been John Chen's idea of bringing back BlackBerry 10. So not saying that's officially going to happen. Everybody, don't go adding me.
Yeah, and we don't know how the smartphone market will look in a few years when we got IoT and AI and tons of new technology that need to be connected to our smart cars and smart light bulbs, our smart refrigerator.
Yeah. So there's an idea. So Roy, we have Mobile World Congress is coming up soon, right?
Yeah.
And we haven't heard anything from BlackBerry Mobile saying that they're announcing anything, but we know there's probably a Key 3 coming. What are your top 5 features that you want to see in Key 3?
Wow. You tackled me. I think a slider. I think a lot of BlackBerry users want slider, and I'm from time to time want the ability to slide from if I write an email or BBM, I want my physical keyboard, and when I on the internet and I just checking some apps, I don't need my keyboard, so I can use a full touch, and it will be great to have it a new slider device. And I want some new memories. Like I want to get after my prev batteries load up.
Yeah, I mean, a Priv or slider-like device would be all. I don't think they would put that into the Key 3. I would think that they would just make that a completely different model. But I can definitely see the idea behind that. I mean, yeah, having that. I still miss that screen size of the Priv. That was probably the best feature of the Priv, is having that screen size and that gorgeous screen on there. You know, Romeo from the chat says he's for the Key 3. He wants bigger and wider device, closer to a Passport. Maybe not as wide and longer. Yeah, no, everybody wants a Passport BlackBerry Android device, but it might actually happen now, because with Samsung coming out with these foldable devices now, the screen size of those devices should actually equal to what the Passport, or close to what the Passport was.
I think that it's still too early to BlackBerry Mobile to release a Passport-like device.
Yeah, yeah.
They still need to grow their market, so they will not take any risks to make something like that.
Yeah, they don't want to seem like they're releasing or going back and trying to release an old device at BlackBerry. You know, if they would do that, I would think they would try to do the Bold series, like the 9900s first, because that device sold pretty well.
If they release a new Key 3 that is a physical keyboard device, they probably will add one more camera. It will be 3-lens camera. It's really hard. It's a pretty good device. What they can improve. The screen size is great.
Yeah, I want a better camera on the Key 3.
Yeah.
I mean, BlackBerry Mobile, when they released the Key 1, one of the biggest selling features on that device was, hey, we have the same sensor as the Google Pixel. Same exact one. And it took great photos. And then the Key 2, actually the Motion rolled around, and no word about what sensors in this device. Right? Okay, so the Motion is maybe just not their flagship device, whatever. Key 2 rolls around. No mention of the sensor inside of the Key 2. And it's not a horrible camera, don't get me wrong, but it's definitely not, a Pixel camera. It's definitely not an LG camera or anything like that. So I feel it's such a backtracking concept of BlackBerry Mobile, and especially when you're trying to rebuild this brand, right? One of the biggest drawbacks of a BlackBerry device back in the day was it wasn't great for media. It wasn't great for taking photos. And I get it. These are business devices. These are driven for productivity and security and all that stuff. But show me a bunch of business people who don't want to take photos with their devices, or don't need to take photos with their devices for that matter, right? How many jobs can you think of that taking photos of maybe the shelves that you stocked, or documentations, or your receipt, or or something that you need a good camera for on that device? That's just one big selling point that BlackBerry has missed on 2 devices already, when they got it right on the first device, but the second and third devices they missed. Even on the LE, and the LE I can kind of understand, because it's a lower end device and lower cost device, so that's fine. I don't really consider that. I wouldn't be expecting a Pixel sensor inside the LE with the price point, but I want a good camera on this device.
Yeah, I think it's something that most of us will want.
Yeah.
Maybe I don't know, a wireless charging. I don't think that our
I was just thinking that. Yeah, we haven't had a wireless charging device since the Priv, right?
Yeah, and I think the only BlackBerry with wireless charging is the Evolve, and it's from the Indian market.
Yep. I really wish we were talking about this right before we went on the air. I really wish that the Evolve had evolved to other regions.
but I can see them. I really don't see what they can more, um, what they can upgrade. Maybe they can. Maybe they will change the jack of the headphones to something new.
Yeah, I mean, they might go with the route of removing that headphone jack and just go a micro USB or USB-C port, which I don't like the idea of, but go for it. I mean, I don't want to. One thing I don't want them doing that everyone else is doing is this whole knock view or knock display, whatever. I don't want that in my next Key 3 because I don't like that idea.
And they must keep releasing devices with color variant.
I don't think you'll see that with the flagship devices though.
No.
Because if they're going to follow the trend of BlackBerry beforehand, the only flagship devices to get color were the two we've already mentioned, were the Torch and the Passports. And the Classic got a color, but that's black and white, right? But no other like flagship devices really got a color. The Bold series maybe.
The Bold, I think the 9700 had a white version.
The 9900s had white too. So actually, I'm wrong. So the flagship devices did have colors to them, but they weren't.
To have a white Key 3 or a Key 2.
Yes, give me a white phone. Give me a white Key 1 or Key 3.
Yeah.
Give me a white Motion too. I love that. Yeah,
I think they failed, or they think they failed with the Motion, and
I've said this. I think I said this the last podcast that I did with YouTube Brad, that I feel so bad for the Motion, because the Motion is a great device. It's got some bad portions of it. It's not a great camera. That's really the only thing. It's not a great camera. That's it. That's my only negative complaint about the Motion. And it's water resistant. It's got the dust resistant. It's such a great concept. It is probably a better battery life than the Key 1 was, and even better than the Key 2, right? The Motion, I have mine right here. I love this device. This was such a great device. This was the Z30 of the BlackBerry Android world as of right now, right? The Z30 was such a great device.
it was an amazing device.
Yeah,
I think the great sound ever I heard on a mobile device.
But the Z30 was always the device that was. It was popular when it first came out, but then when it came out, or right after it came out, I think they went straight to the Passport, right? And it just kind of teetered off.
I think at the time of the Z30, that was the time that BlackBerry went to go on sale and to stop marketing, and things will change.
Yeah. But they also did that. Well, they did it here in the States, where it was supposed to release on AT&T, but it never did, and it released only on Verizon, which I still don't know to this day why manufacturers have exclusivities with anybody for that matter, but with Verizon. Like,
they are the biggest carrier on the USA, right?
Yeah, they are, but they're also just the only one that does
CDMA.
And I mean, Sprint does it too, but they're going to go T-Mobile soon, so that doesn't really they don't count.
Yeah, the Motion is actually like the sandwich brother between the Key 2 and the Key 1. I felt some between them.
Yeah, the Motion was such a good device, and I like I said, I feel bad for that device. I've actually been thinking about popping my SIM card into it and just using it for a bit, just go back to it.
Let's show support to the Motion.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I wish it just had a better battery or better camera to it. Such a good device. I would love for them to do a Motion too. I'm surprised they haven't done that yet. I haven't come out with a new touchscreen device.
As I said, I think the next full touch device will be a slider,
I think so too.
a flagship, high specs slider.
What if they just tweak the Priv a little bit and just re-release it? That's all I got to do.
I think
make it
people
not.
will buy it. It will be a great device.
Oh yeah, they just call it the Priv 2. That's all you got to do. People buy
And
it.
then we have that price tag. I think it will be a very high price tag.
Yeah, I hope not.
Yeah. But as
'Cause then it
we
wants
see
out.
today, all the big manufacturers are releasing a flagship device.
Yeah, that's one trend I hope BlackBerry doesn't do, or BlackBerry Mobile doesn't do, or any of the BlackBerry manufacturing partners, because even if if you look at Apple right now, right, they're selling these devices at thousands of dollars, right, but they're not selling. They're adjusting their sales numbers or projected sales numbers because the devices aren't selling in store, and some people might chalk it up to Apple devices not being catchy anymore, or not being innovative anymore. But I really think it's the price, right? And they come out with the iPhone XS or whatever it's called, and then they come out with the iPhone XR, which is their lower end model device, but it's still pretty expensive. So if BlackBerry Mobile looks at that, I hope they say their prices are ridiculous and people aren't buying their phones. If we make our devices really good, but make them, even if they're around the same price tag that we're at right now, then we have a good shot of selling these devices as long as we push marketing wise as well.
I think that BlackBerry Mobile should cooperate with BlackBerry Mobile India, Optimus, to bring the Evolve or the Evolve X to more markets, because the Evolve X is a high specs device with a very low price.
Yeah. I think BlackBerry should just say, hey, we're going to make devices again, but we're just going to use TCL, we're going to use Optimus, and we're going to use BB Mariputa and make them our manufacturing division.
I don't think it will happen.
No, I don't think so.
It
could happen with TCL because they're struggling with financially, but actually, didn't ZTE buy like stock in them or something like that? I forget.
Not ZTE, Xiaomi.
Yeah,
they bought out
like a percent.
0.4%, not even 1% of that.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what happens with Black. We have MC World Congress or Mobile World Congress coming up soon. I think it's this month, right? End of this month. And then so we should be hearing something there if we hear anything from BlackBerry Mobile. Yeah. I didn't hear anything about them or from them from CES, and I really think they're just doing 2 devices a year now, if they follow their trend last year, and it's probably going to be 2 keyboard devices again, maybe a touch and a keyboard. I don't know. I think they got scared with the Motion, with it not selling as well, and they're thinking that keyboard is the way to go. I hope not, but I don't know.
The Mobile World Congress is on March, right?
March. So early March?
Yeah. And they release devices between May to September, probably.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, you'll see a summer release and then a fall release.
So we'll announce on March and start selling through May, June, maybe.
Yeah.
It's what they like to do. Because on September you have the Apple new device and Samsung around the same time. So you need to release the device to start sell, or before it, before September.
Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah.
So Romeo in the chat just made a pretty good point. They said they, meaning BlackBerry needs to leave TCL alone. I don't agree with that fully, but he says, and have HTC, Motorola, or Nokia make their devices. Now, I will say this: HTC has been known to make some pretty good devices, looking wise. I mean, they've made the Pixels before. Nokia, same thing. They make some pretty good devices. Motorola, I wouldn't throw them in. I mean, Motorola is okay, but
yeah, but if you look, all of them, HTC, Motorola, and Nokia failed.
Yes,
in this field,
but
and
good.
They built very good devices. The HTC made a wonderful device, but they failed.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, BlackBerry can manufacture by themselves if they want to build devices. They don't need HTC, Motorola, or Nokia.
I think if you do that, HTC or Nokia are going to want to call them Nokia devices or HTC devices. They're not going to call them HTC BlackBerry devices.
I still like the idea of TCL and
Optimus, I think TCL is fine.
Making the devices, and I would like to see maybe an LG BlackBerry secure devices, or any other manufacturer with the BlackBerry suite.
Yeah, give me a smartwatch with BlackBerry secure.
I remember they talked, or they mentioned that
they bought that watch company, right?
No, they didn't bought. They made a license to BlackBerry Secure with this watch company.
Yes, yep. Yeah, I want like an Android Wear device with BlackBerry Secure running behind it.
But the only reason I don't buy a new watch, because I use Fitbit, and I really like it. I'm still waiting to a BlackBerry watch.
Yeah, me too. And I want to
even it's made by TCL or maybe Rolex.
I want one of these, a new one.
Oh, I still have mine.
Yeah, I want a new one because this was such a good tablet. But all right, what else should we wrap it up for tonight?
Yeah, we can. It was a 1 hour of great talking, and I hope all our viewers and listeners liked it.
Yeah, so I want to thank Roy for coming on the show. I think we should do this more often, Roy. I think.
Yeah, from time to time.
Yeah, or while there's no UTP broadcast, we'll do it the Bear Reporter podcast just to make up for those. But thank you guys for all joining us in the chat. Thank you guys for watching. If you're not watching live, that's fine. This podcast will be available for your listening pleasures on your favorite podcasting app. Make sure you subscribe on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Anchor, Pocket Cast, wherever you listen to your podcasts. This will be available. Google Podcasts, Google Play Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Subscribe there, leave comments, reviews, hit the like button on this video. Have a good night, everybody.
Good night. Have a great weekend, everyone.